Sup, guys? Welcome to the Swamp Chats post-game show. No Kai. Still has a headache or whatnot. That's what happens when you watch too much soccer. But I do have our man D here once again. Quick thoughts on this game, D. I'm quickly going to say that I thought the offense, once again, listen, it showed what it can do best was, passing the ball, throwing the football. I said in the pregame I wanted to see more running. That really didn't happen. And once again, you needed to fire up your own defense after giving up a 90-plus drive to a quarterback that I can't yet pronounce. You had missed tackles everywhere. You had stupid penalties. You had your offensive line getting your quarterback hit in the first half of not knowing when the ball was snapped and not knowing which pressure to slide off of. I mean, those are just mistakes, right, that shouldn't be happening in this late in the season. And listen, the average Gator fan will be like, hey, we won the game, we beat Tennessee. That's great. Like, I'm not going to say, it's always great to win. But this game should have not been such a blah. This game was supposed to be, once again, we were expecting a 60-minute football game, and we really got probably a 30-minute football game. But that's just besides the fact that there's some mistakes being done out there. Marco Wilson is still getting beat against unnamed wide receivers. Tackles are not getting done. And like I said, the offensive line pass protection today, listen, I get it. It's Tennessee, but, I mean, if anybody said it perfect, guys, it was D right before we came on live. There's no Albert Hainsworth. There's no Reggie White. Those type of pressures shouldn't be happening right now, and they are. So, listen, you'll get the W. Most important, you would win the SEC East, which I'm pretty sure, let me see how much time is left in the football game. The game's almost over, under 30 seconds left. And, of course, we commit another stupid penalty of roughing the passer. Why? Because that's what this defense does, right? I mean, Jesus Christ. D, the floor is yours. 30 seconds until we wrap up and win the SEC East. I thought I'd be more happy, more excited about this, but at the same time, I'm more worried now.
Yeah, man, it's just another ho-hum effort by this football team. After Georgia, we said it. After Georgia, the SEC East was pretty much clinched, and every game that we played was going to be compared against Alabama. And now this is 3 straight weeks. Vanderbilt was a ho-hum game. Kentucky was another ho-hum game, and this was another ho-hum game against teams you should be blowing out. And I just think championship teams may take 1 week off, but they don't take 3 weeks off. At some point, you have to put the pedal to the metal, and there's a time where you say, hey, we're ready to take off. We're ready to win this thing. And look, the passing game, we know what we can do in the passing game. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to continue to say this. You cannot win the SEC being one-dimensional. And if you're going to play a Nick Saban team in Atlanta with that defense, and you're going to be in 3rd and long, 2nd and long, continues, he's going to eat you alive. And I don't think there's enough. Look, man, if Dan Mullen goes in Atlanta and proves me wrong, and all of a sudden, we turn out to be this spectacular running team or get this great running game going, then I will gladly apologize. But you have to practice at this, man. You just can't turn it on. In the last 3 weeks, this offensive line has regressed. This running game has regressed. And again, this isn't about Tennessee. This isn't about Kentucky. This isn't about Vanderbilt. It's not about LSU. It's about Alabama. Yeah. And if this doesn't turn around, Nick Saban is going to make life miserable for Kyle Trask.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, it's all valid points, and I think it's the same thing that me and Kai have been talking about the whole season. I've been wanting a running game since week 1, and I think the only game where I probably saw that, or the consecutive games where I saw that they actually had success, it was the win at Georgia, and the following week I think we played Arkansas, or what I guess was. Hold on. Yeah, so it was those two. After that, it's just struggles against Vanderbilt, struggles against Kentucky, and now you're struggling against the defense in Tennessee that I believe is ranked 100 in every single category. So it's quite clear that the issues is the offensive line. And today I saw Kyle Trask take hits, and I wasn't happy about that because, one, it was missed pass protection. Two, a couple times, and I don't name players out. I don't call players out. Me and you, listen, you know me, man. I've worked in the sports industry for quite some time. I don't like to call people out. But number 56, my man, time to get with it, brother. It's time to get with it. You have a Heisman Trophy quarterback sitting behind you, and you don't know what the pass protection is?
Yeah, against Alabama, that may get him killed.
Against Alabama, that will knock out your quarterback. Against Alabama, that becomes a sack, a fumble recovery, and a touchdown, or maybe Trask tries to force it, and it gets picked off for a pick six. Those are things that, my man, you at this point in time, the playbook should be secondary to you. Your playbook is when you're out there on the field now scanning it. It's not for you to get set down again and the coach tells you, hey, this was the call. You practice this every single week, virtually, on the field, in the coach's box, in the meetings. Like, those are things that should be secondary to you.
But I don't think this coaching staff is playing the best five guys. I think
I agree. Listen, you brought up something before we went on live. Move Reese to right, and then you switch it up with the I seem to forget the other names. But if me and you can figure out this, Dan, stop being so stubborn.
Yeah.
Do it now, 2 weeks before you head to Atlanta. We don't need this experiment against Crimson Tide. We need it right now.
Right. You have to. These games should be games that you are gearing up to play Alabama. We shouldn't be having these struggles against Kentucky, against Vanderbilt, against Tennessee, man. Listen, man, I said this in the pregame. Tennessee was a dead body, and all we had to do was bury it. And we allowed them to – I was never afraid of losing the game, but it's how you look, man. Right now when you're looking at when you have these college football polls coming out, these playoff polls, style points count, man. And when you're 18-point favorite against Tennessee and you only win by 12 and you can't run the ball, people are looking at that, man. Texas, say what you want about Texas A&M. Texas A&M went on the road against Auburn. I don't think Auburn's that great, but it's on the road, and they were able to manhandle Auburn in the trenches and eventually take their will away from them. You look at what Alabama's going to do. I don't think Clemson's playing tonight, and what Notre Dame won. So all these, everyone is looking at how you play down the stretch, and if you're looking unimpressive, it's going to cost you in the minds of the voters. I don't think anyone right now, if Florida and Alabama played, it would probably be a 2-touchdown. Florida would be a 2-touchdown underdog.
Yeah. As you guys can see down there, Florida has won the SEC East. I should be excited. I should be ecstatic. I should be looking forward to a great battle with Alabama, man. But let's be honest here. Listen, the smart Gator fan knows that, listen, it's a win and we're happy. And once again, in the 50th all-time game against Tennessee, you went out there and, you won the game. But, the stakes are higher than that. Yeah. The stakes shouldn't be get to Atlanta anymore. It should be win Atlanta. Get in the college football playoff.
Jim McElwain got to Atlanta twice.
Jim McElwain got to Atlanta twice. Not to say that Dan Mullen has done a terrible job his last 2 years. Listen, he brought us out of the gutter. But, man, it's just at some point this defense, listen, this defense I'm going to be more hard on because I just feel like, listen, they are who we thought they were. Now, at the beginning of the season, we thought it was top 5, top 10. It's clearly not that. But those, once again, like I saw in the final drive right now in the game right now, personal foul penalties, missed tackles, Volunteers scored another touchdown again. Like, this is not the pros, man. This is collegiate. Like, you should be able to go out there and play 60 minutes without giving up 20 points to Tennessee. I don't care if you're playing prevent defense.
Right.
And some can say, oh, you're being too harsh. No, I'm not, man. These guys are not being paid. These guys are risking their asses out there on the line, during a pandemic. I would hope that they give their 120%, knowing that this could be their only possible opportunity to play this beautiful game that we watch every single week. But yeah.
I mean, when you're in there as a backup, you have to flash because You never know at some point, whether it's this season or next season, you're going to be counted on. And
Yeah,
I just think the overall picture, man, I just think Dan Mullen has to create a certain urgency, and I don't care in practice or a certain desperation, because right now, man, this team is just going through the motions, and
yeah.
it's not inspiring the fan base, man. The fan base, yeah, we're happy we got to Atlanta. It's a great accomplishment, but like you said, man, the bigger fish is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and that's who we're being measured on. And right now, there's no one objectively that's looking at the way we played the last 3 weeks can say we measure up with Alabama. Offensively, yes, we can score points. But again, if Alabama is able to control that passing game and force the Gators to run, which they can't the last 3 weeks, Saban's gonna eat us up for lunch, man. That's just, I hate to put it that way, but I've watched this conference for way too long. And look, man, Steve Spurrier threw the ball around a lot, but he was balanced. He had 2 running plays. He had the lead
Brett
ball,
Taylor and Jackson and them guys with Danny Werfel. Listen, he knew when Steve Spurrier knew when he needed to run the ball. The problem is with Dan Mullen, he doesn't want to do it.
He does. He's not committed to it.
He gets away from it so quickly.
Right.
That's the issue I have too. You get away from it in the first quarter when you still got another freaking 45 minutes of football left. So that's my argument. Let me just read you some stats here. Kyle Trask went 35 of 49, 433 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, 7 receptions for 128 yards. The average college football fan will look at this and be like, oh, the Gators played great. What another great performance by Kyle Trask. My goodness, he's having a heck of a season. Kyle Pitts, his second game back from injury. He looks fantastic, man. But the true Gator fans of Gator Nation are going to look at this stat. Are you ready?
Yes.
19 rushing yards. 8 penalties for 85 yards. Okay? Those two stats right there.
Pathetic.
I don't know about you, D. I don't feel good going against Alabama in 2 weeks, bro.
No. And again, man, it's not, if this was just, if they had, played impressively against Kentucky and Vanderbilt, you could call this a one-off. But it's not a one-off. It's been three weeks in a row where we have not run the ball successfully against. We had 200 yards against Arkansas. That's been the peak of the season. Ever since then, we've gone downhill. Naquan Wright can't find a hole. Damian Pierce can't find a hole. Malik Davis can't find a hole because there's no holes to be found.
When Mr. Carroll City cannot find room to run the football and he has elite athleticism, you have issues around that offensive line. Because Pierce, I could understand he's a much bigger back. Just give him out in space and he'll make you miss. That man, I have total confidence in. Malik Davis as well. Once again, they had one play for him. It was that swing play. Do I think it was a penalty? I think it was either a gamble or shorter.
It was on Xavier Henderson.
Okay, there we go. Baby Hendo.
Right.
There you go. So I thought that he could have done a much better reaction to it. But then, they didn't run the ball again. And I understand that you want to throw it, you want to put points up. But at some point, you have to keep the defense honest. And at this point, it's keeping Alabama honest. You don't think that Nick Saban was watching this game right before he kicks off in about an hour or so? Of course he is, man. Come on. What do you think he's been doing during COVID? He's been looking at Florida film for the last 4 weeks.
You just said it. Alabama has been focusing and prepping for Florida
for the Florida, last. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, Dan. You have to be seeing this. And you got to realize that a running game just doesn't happen in 6 days of preparation. A running game just doesn't come out of the blue when you put it into the game plan 7 days before a game. You need to start working at it, my man. And next week, I hate to harp on it, you need to have another game plan when it comes to keeping top defensive honesty. And that's about being able to control the clock when you need to. 19 rushing yards against Tennessee. I get it. The Gator fan will say, well, we didn't need to run the ball today. We were playing Tennessee and we threw for over 400 yards. That's not the point. The point is to start having that in your arsenal when you get to Atlanta. And if you want any opportunities of winning an 8th SEC championship. which that's the goal. The goal wasn't not to get there. The goal is to win it, especially in a season like this where Georgia has looked like crap. Clemson has had his little bit of stumble, and the only top team right now in the entire nation, me looking by my eyes, is Alabama, not Notre Dame, and not Ohio State. I don't care what you tell me. Ohio State might have 5 stars all over the place, but when you miss 3-4 games, I'm sorry. I need to see more, especially in that piece of crap conference. Okay, this is the SEC, man. SEC competition. This is where the boys become men, and this is where trophies are handed to people that bust their ass. I need this offensive line in 2 weeks. Start running the football. Figure it out. Figure it out, guys. You got 14 days. Not saying we're gonna, go into. I think we play LSU at home, right? I'm not sure. Okay, so guess what? You got 2 weeks to be at home. Start working at it, coach. Come on. Start working at it. Defense. You got to be able to tackle better. Stop giving up 3rd and 12. Like, once again, I'm seeing a no-name quarterback converting a 3rd and 12. Marco Wilson, my man. You're not facing a Julio Jones week in and week out, brother. You got to go out there and know that that's your man and play much better coverage. Steiner, stop missing tackles.
Yeah, I think
thing.
I think the defense played overall pretty good, except for the fourth quarter when the game was out of reach. Of course, they let down, but the defense wasn't my concern tonight. Tennessee. I was never threatened by Tennessee, going up and down the field. I mean, they got penalties or whatever, but I was never concerned about Tennessee, scoring 24 points in a quarter or 17. They had to move down the field methodically, hit some passes here, hit some runs there. But, the defense didn't play perfectly, but that wasn't my concern tonight. My concern was the lack of a running game, man, because, again, if you can't, I hate to be redundant, but if you can't run the ball in Atlanta, you're going to get your butt kicked. I can't emphasize that enough because Nick Saban he has an NFL background and he's coaching college. Oh my God. It looks like my grade point average.
They averaged 19 rushing yards, 1.1 yards per carry, and they ran the ball 17 times.
I think if we put Sarah Fuller in the backfield, she could average more than 1.1 yards a carry.
Hey man, I need one of the Ponce brothers to just give a call, man, and boost his offensive line up, bro. I need somebody to wake these guys up and tell them that the way to win SEC championships is by running the damn football. I don't care if you're quarterback.
This is all, Manny. This is all on the offensive line, coach. We have the numbers now. We've recruited pretty decently on the offensive line. You get, Josh Braun, a guy that would have went to Georgia if Sam Pittman didn't leave for Arkansas. You have Garage. You got Stuart Reese. You have Tarquin. You've got Ethan White. These guys are not playing, man. At some point, production has to supersede seniority. And right now, I want Stuart Reese at right tackle, and I want DeLance off my line. Either you put Ethan White or Josh Braun at right guard. It's really that simple.
Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to call my man out at number 5'6", man, but I think we've given him enough ample time to get it together. Listen, I don't need to see Gator Twitter to know what's the word around there. I mean, Gator Twitter, Gator Twitter will tell you right away who's up, who's down, who has issues, who needs to be fixed. But my man, if you still haven't gotten it done after all these games and now 2 weeks before Atlanta, I just prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. That's all I can say. And I know that moment's not going to change. And you know what? That's why we're fans. He's the head coach. So we as fans, we have to believe. And that's what I'm going to do. Do I feel confident? No, I don't feel confident because I know Nick Saban's like, so,
look, man, if he pulls out a game plan against Alabama that's completely different, and all of a sudden we're able to, I will come on and apologize.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. Bro, if 5'6" comes into that game and pancakes everyone he touches and is able to blow up guys off the line of scrimmage and is able to pick up blitzes on third down, bro, I will come on this show and I'll ask him, hey, you want to join us to call me out? Trust me, I will do that. I will do that. Because listen, we've been reporters, we've been producers on radio stations down here in freaking South Florida. We gotta call people out sometimes because sometimes that's what they need. They need a quick, hey, let's go. It's
Dude,
time.
This isn't Pac-12 football, bro. This is SEC
football. This ain't the Big 12, man, where you give up 50 points and you score 51 and you go, oh, I'm good, man. I won the title today. No, bro. See, SEC. It's a different kind of football. Listen, I've been trying to tell Miami fans all year long. I understand it's who you play, but you're going to be all excited about beating Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, and tonight they play Duke. And I understand. Listen, we went through the COVID situation. A lot of Cane fans made fun of us because of it. A lot did. I didn't hear us go at them.
No,
maybe I'm just blind, but I didn't see us do the same thing. This season is so unique that the opportunity, when you have it, you need to grab it by the BALLS.
Yep.
And right now, the Florida Gators, what they have in front of them is an opportunity to win 4. Come on, guys. Let's get this together. I almost cursed. Let's get it together. D, any final words?
Oh man, I'm just
listen, feel excited. You beat Tennessee again.
Yes, we beat Tennessee. We're going to Atlanta. I mean,
you're going to Atlanta. Let's go. Let's go, Dan Muller. Let's go, number 56. I believe in you.
You know, Steve Spurrier said it when he came to the SEC. Said the goal is to get to Atlanta because if you don't get to Atlanta, you're not going to be able to win any national championships or anything. So I'm not, getting to Atlanta is a hell of a goal, but again, that's not the ultimate goal. So we're all going. The Gator Nation is going to be salty this week. The airwaves are going to be very salty, very discontent, not very satisfied, and we'll see what they do against LSU next week, man. That's all we can do right now is hope for improvement against LSU, and then we know what is down the line in 2 weeks here.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans, when actually Steve Spurrier came out and said sometimes winning the SEC, sometimes winning the SEC conference is more difficult than winning a national championship. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that it definitely is.
It's very tough, man.
Gauntlet, man. And this season has shown, man. Listen, there's teams right now like Arkansas, Missouri. I'm not even going to say
Penn State.
Oh my gosh, bro! I will put money down to say Arkansas could go to Penn State, could go to Michigan, and lay the wood on them. That's how confident I am in Arkansas. Okay, yes. I'm not talking about Vanderbilt because unfortunately Vanderbilt and South Carolina are probably the 2 worst teams in the conference, right?
Yeah.
But get it together. Next week's LSU. Got to work on the little things, guys. If we want to have an opportunity against these Nick Saban defense, man.
It's senior day next Saturday.
Senior day. Yeah. Cheer up, guys. Guess what? Another week is done. Another week closer to Atlanta. Let's enjoy it. Let's also be realistic. Let's not just hype up the train. This conference title is still far away from over and getting opportunities to get better. And I feel like it all starts tomorrow. Right? So thank you guys for joining us. Gator Nation will be with you guys next week. I believe the LSU game is at noon.
I don't think they've announced it yet, but we'll probably know Monday, tomorrow.
Yeah, and for any Gator fan that wants Kyle Trask to sit out, you're delusional. He's not going to sit out, okay? He's not going to sit out, all right? Everyone should be playing. We need to see people out there in momentum, in gameplay right before Alabama. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next week against LSU. Go Gators.
Go Gators.